Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we have some leaked cards from the new Commander precons and stuff like that. I wanted to kind of, share some of the reprints and stuff coming. Very primarily focused on the energy precons, so the Jeskai one there. There's a couple cards in here that aren't from that, just from, the main set and stuff. And I'm pretty excited. Official reveals have started today, so just tune into those as well if you want to see them more officially and stuff. But we've got all of the kind of leaked cards here, so if you guys want to subscribe, feel free to. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers at the moment. We are going insanely well. We're already up to what, 2.25. It's going really great. I'm very happy. So the first one here we've got is Vexing Bauble. This one here was leaked a couple days ago, but it is crazy. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. There are so many cards that kind of cheat stuff out. A couple of my decks will have issues with this. Stuff like, Pantlaza, with anything with like Discover and Cascade and stuff will have issues with this. My other deck that's going to have issues with this is my time counter deck, so my 10th Doctor deck, because anything, from Suspend coming in, you cast it for free, it gets counted. The other part about this is you can pay one and sacrifice it to draw a card, so that way you can do it at the end of whoever's turn, just before yourself, and then you'll be able to cast cards. Or if, you don't have cards that cast stuff for free, you can just leave it out there. I'm actually surprised you get to even draw a card from here rather than just sack it, because already sacking it's going to give you potentially a big bonus, while this, the draw a card gives it an even bigger bonus. It's really strong, in my opinion. It's really great. Next is Titan's Vanguard. So this is in the base set too. Devoid, Gruul colors with +3. When you cast this spell and wherever it attacks, put a +1/+1 on each colorless card creature you control. It's also got Trample, a very, very kind of Gruul card, 5/5 as well. Very interesting. I love that one. And then we've got Snapping Void Crawl here. Tap to add 2 colors, or you can pay 3 and a colorless and tap it to draw a card. So some nice card draw in here, as well as being just a mana dork for colorless as well within, an Eldrazi deck. So in the Devoid precon, the Eldrazi precon, this could be really strong there too. It is just in the base set, and it is just a common as well. All right, now for the actual kind of commander ones. So these are going to start with a Jeskai energy deck. So Sphinx of Revelation, whenever you gain life, you get that many energy counters. Then you can pay 2 blue, a white, tap it, pay X energy to draw X cards. I'll be very interested to see how this one goes. I guess it's got lifelink kind of built in. So it's whenever you attack, gain 4 energy, essentially. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, ways you can gain life and stuff. I don't know. I'll be very interested to see how this one kind of goes. It's potentially one that's going to get cut. We'll see. We've got Localized Destruction. You get an energy counter, then you can pay 1 or more energy. If you do, each creature you control with power equal to the amount of energy paid this way gains indestructible until end of turn. It's interesting that it says equal to. So, if you've got things with multiple different power levels, then you're not going to potentially be able to save everything. You'll only be able to save one. Or, multiple if you've got stuff that's all the same power. And then you can destroy all creatures. So, it's save one thing essentially and destroy everything else. Hourglasses of Loss. This one here I am so hyped for. My 10th Doctor deck is going to absolutely love this. So add colorless. Just tap, add colorless, put a time counter on it. You can then remove time counters from it and exile it to return each non-land permanent card with mana value X from the graveyard to the battlefield. Getting to resurrect things is this is going to be really fun. Especially with the time travel mechanic, you can get so many time counters so quickly. Unfortunately, it has to all be the same mana level, but there's lots of really great ways you could potentially use this, especially if you clone it. Like, you could clone this and do some really funky stuff with it too. Silver Quill Lecturer here. Creatures, spells you control have demonstrate. So there's like a sub theme essentially within the Jeskai deck, or yeah, I think energy is kind of the main theme, and then tokens is like the secondary theme. So you get to demonstrate your creatures to other people. Lots of really cool ways you could use that, you know, demonstrate stuff that's just giving energy or doing stuff with energy counters. Other people aren't going to be wanting it, but you're going to be wanting 2 of them. We've got Overclock Electromancer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay 3 energy. If you do, put a +1/+1 on it. And then when it attacks, double its power until end of turn. When it deals combat damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage, you then get X energy, where X is the excess. So get a whole bunch of energy too if you have a really big one of these. Aetherworks Marvel got reprinted, and so did Gontai's Aetherheart. Both insane reprints. People were speccing them so hard because they are just so great in energy decks. So, you know, you can do crazy stuff with Aetherworks Marvel. Treasures are going to count for this. Any of the tokens that you're going to create that you're just going to sack anyway, you can do really great stuff with this and get a whole bunch of energy, and then cast stuff for free, because why not? Gontai's Aetherheart here. Get a whole bunch of energy from artifacts and stuff, and then you can pay 8 energy to exile and take another turn. So the Sage of the Maze, another kind of gate card. That's very interesting as well. Potentially, you know, the Maze is going to get reprinted. So this one here is going to be coming from the Simic deck. And because of the everything counters, all of your lands will end up being gates. Unfortunately, with the main deck, it is only going to be Simic. So you can only include, you know, the gates that are going to match the Simic colors. But you know, there's lots of different areas you could use this in, and, you know, or even just by itself as a decent kind of card, making your lands into citizens, and then also, you know, adding mana by itself too. It's also any mana, any combination of colors with the mana too there. And then you can tap and untap Maze to untap it to create more mana. Why not? We've got Benthic Anomaly here, so this is going to be obviously within the Eldrazi one. Whenever you cast it, for each opponent, choose a creature they control, create a token that's a copy it, except its power is equal to the number, to the total power of those creatures. Its toughness is equal to the total toughness of those creatures, and it's a colorless Eldrazi. So you could do some really crazy stuff with this, copying everyone's stuff out. I love that card. And that's the last one. So I'd love to hear from you guys as to what you think. This is really getting me wanting to get that Jeskai deck. I am very, very hyped, and I absolutely hate this thing. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Goodbye.